This is Professor Raymond Noble, Department of Ancient History, log entry number 2. I believe I am moving to distant past.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Well, sometimes that is better.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Have you checked the children?
Michael!
Beware the stare of Mary Shaw.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
I myself am strange and unusual.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
I just can't take no pleasure in killing.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it gets punctured?
The juice is loose.
Unpleasant dream.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Terror Talks. I'm your host, Jeremy.
And I'm Ansley.
And on this episode, we've got another double feature for you.
Science fiction.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about the 13th Acre and the Fear Farm. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to dive right in on it. So first up, we have the 13th Acre. That was the first haunt we visited on this particular evening. Located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, just east of Charlotte, in fact, in Monroe, North Carolina. An eerily silent haunted trail captures the attention of many. Unknown creatures create chaos and mayhem in the area at night, but no one ever dares to enter it to know the truth. Are you brave enough to find out what lies in there? Feel as if you are walking right into your worst nightmare when you and your friends see how far you can go through the 13th Acre. So this was a brand new one for us. This year's our first time getting to attend, and we found out this is literally their second season. Like, they just started doing this, and we got to give a huge shout out before we go any further to the owner, Bonnie. She was absolutely amazing, welcomed us with open arms, and was just an absolute gem to meet, work with, talk with. I mean, she sat there and literally picked our brain and talked for probably a good 15 minutes or so after we had finally finished everything up that night, and personally took us around and showed us everything there was to see. So she really was absolutely phenomenal.
She definitely was. Miss Bonnie was what I hope to find when I meet haunt owners, because you could tell she just really, really loves what she does, and there's no mistaking that she loves it. It is definitely one of her favorite things to do from the looks of it, because the amount of detail and brain just went dead, sorry. The amount of detail and care and love that is put into each and every piece of the haunt is unmatched.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell that she really enjoys what she does and just has an absolute blast with it. Like, it was so much fun. So when you first arrive, you have this amazing midway. Like, there's so much to see, so much to do when you get there. This is not just your average haunt. You know, you walk in, it's a small midway, nothing like that. This is like a full experience. Like, there's so much to do. They have an 1800s train car that you can go and hang out in. They offer quality beers and wine along with signature drinks. They have a relaxing casino-style game at one of the indoor game tables. The train car has even been featured on 2 TV shows, including American Pickers and Restoration Wild. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go in the train car because we were too busy haunting to do that, but it was still something really cool. They've got their general store, which they have glass bottled sodas, local products, candy barrels, of course, your 13th Acre souvenirs and some of the most unique Halloween gift items around. That's not even an exaggeration at all, because they really did have some truly unique stuff in there. Like, they had everything you could think, things you wouldn't even think of even in there. So lots of really cool stuff to see in their general store / gift shop. They have cozy fire pits that you can reserve during the fall months. Really cool. You have to get an admission ticket for the fire pit for each participant, but that's a cool thing. You have to reserve them online. They have a live DJ on stage beginning at 7 p.m. every night, and if you listen, you get a chance to win fast passes, t-shirts, and more. They literally will do giveaways every 30 minutes. I didn't even know a lot of this. Like, that's actually really cool to hear about that. And they have all sorts of menagerie of characters running about the grounds, scaring you, interacting with you. Some really fun characters, some really cool ones that we absolutely love and got to meet. It was just all around an absolutely amazing experience. So we actually got to do the sort of VIP experience that they offer, which was really cool. And with that, you basically get access to a VIP bar, which was really cute. I wish we'd have gotten some pictures and video in there, but we didn't think about it because we were boom, 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 we got to go. Because we got there a little later in the evening, unfortunately, so they did sort of set us back a little, but not too terribly much. But you got this awesome bar that you can hang out with. They've got signature drinks and whatnot to try, and then attached to the bar they have some. This is really cool
and very unique.
Yes, I've never seen this before. It's like it's a scare room. So basically, you get to go in there, and it's like the what is it? The single-sided window thing, or
it is a double-sided mirror, as in like with your cop stuff. It's kind of like that. But it gives you a little peep into the haunt itself, and you can actually scare people from there.
Yes, you see exactly the moment that the guests are coming through there, and you have a little button that you get to trigger the scare that's in there. And it was a really unique thing, something I've never personally seen at a haunt. I don't think we've seen it at any haunts we've ever been to. So that was actually really neat to see something like that and see it implemented so well, because it gives the guests a little more fun stuff they can do. It makes you sort of feel like you're in on the scare, which is really cool. And then when you actually go through the haunt, you know exactly what that room is. So you're like, oh, I remember this. So you get to see it from both sides. And that was really cool. Bonnie took us in there herself and, kind of showed us how it worked and talked about it. And we were just like in awe. We're like, that is so freaking cool. So then you get to the actual haunt itself. And one of the other awesome things you get with VIP experience is you actually are allowed to film inside the haunt. This is something that we don't hear about too terribly often with haunts, but on this particular episode, both haunts that we're going to mention, they offer this. This is something really cool. You can pay an additional, just say you get a regular ticket, you pay an additional $10, and you can get essentially a pass or permission to film inside the haunt, whatever you want. They have no stipulations. Just don't use the external light and such, because that messes up the haunt experience. But there are not many haunts that I know of, or that we've even been to, that offer something like that for the average guest. And really, in a way, it's kind of a genius thing, because it does offer like free advertisement when you think about it, because whatever the guests film, they can post it, kind of like what we do, and send the free advertising, get more people to come check it out. So to me, I think it's actually a genius concept, and really think it sets them apart from other haunts. So that's really cool, and I'm actually really glad that the two haunts we're talking about today kind of both implement something like that, because in a way I really felt like they were both cut from the same cloth almost. Like they're both farms, they both offer a lot of the similar sort of things in terms of their experiences, so really cool stuff. So now we get into the attractions themselves, and the first one that you're going to visit is called Coffin Creek. So this was a really cool experience. A lot of it is inside of like trailers and shipping containers, really. Like so they did some really cool stuff with there, and I've only seen that done one other time that I can recall, at least for like shipping containers are concerned. So to see another haunt implementing that, I thought was really, really unique and really cool. It was great to see, like, okay, you know, other people have caught on to this, because when you do those things inside the shipping containers, I don't know what it is about them, but you can like soundproof them like to the fullest extent, and nobody ever really knows what's going on inside or outside them, because they're that good. And they're that effective. So great use of what they had. We won't give away every little thing, because there is an Inside the Haunt episode that will go with both of these haunts, actually. And so we don't want to give away too much in this. We'll just try and hit a couple highlights. There is one absolutely amazing room that I'm so pleased that she had. And actually, she asked us about it when we came out, asking about what our favorite room was. And it is basically a frozen Arctic kind of room. So everything is absolutely cold. Everything looks like it's got snow and ice hanging on it. And they've got air conditioning units chilling the room, basically. And that was so unique. I'm a sucker for a good, like, cold house or that effect where you feel like you're cold. And the fact that they went the extra, like, because you can build that room and just, you know, decor it up all you want. But you don't have to do the temperature part of it. Like, that's one of those little extra details that no one thinks about. And they thought about it. And not only that, they made it snow, too, in there.
They did.
Like, that was, like, those are little details. You didn't have to do it, but you went the extra mile, and you added that extra little detail, and it made a huge difference. So, I absolutely love that. I love that particular room. That was, like, my favorite. There's some other really great rooms. They I dare say they have probably one of the best circus tent experiences we've been through. Like, I absolutely loved the circus and the 12-foot chainsaw.
Yeah, and Jeremy doesn't usually like clown houses. He thinks they're overdone. So, to hear him say that is nothing short of a miracle, honestly.
Yeah, she's not lying. Clowns, they're overdone. They don't do anything for me. They're not scary. And I mean, I appreciate a clown if it's there, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, typical trope. But they actually did some really cool stuff with it. And I have to applaud one of the actresses in there. I don't know if she's British or not, but there was an actress in there who her character was like a British clown. Like, she had the accent and everything, and I was like, okay, that's something you don't like. People don't typically go that way with their characters. So to me, I just thought that was a really unique sort of thing to do. Just be like, oh, okay, it's a British clown. Very, very nice. Very demure. So I loved that. I love that. Like, it's little details like that. You don't have to do them, but you do them, and they make a hell of a difference in the grand scheme of things.
It just shows us how much you love working at the haunt.
Yes. And that can be said for all the actors. I don't think we had any issues with any actors doing, I think maybe one or two, as we call them, the elementary scares.
Yeah, one of them was kind of warranted because it was a hardcore victim role. But you know me, I'm like, get a little bit more creative with it. If you're going to help me at me, whatever. But what I will say is When Miss Bonnie heard that one of her actors was doing that, she was not happy about it. She really wasn't. So that leads me to believe that she actually expects a level of creativity, and I respect that so much.
Yes, very much so. And I think it also does beg mentioning that we did get to visit them on opening night.
Yes, we did. We did. For some reason, for a little while, we've had this, running thing where we have just hit haunts on their first night for some reason. So that was strange that we were just hitting all first night haunts, but you would never know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. Honestly, the level of what some of them were bringing us was like they'd been open for a while. And I know things get better as the season progresses, and by the time y'all are hearing this, we're very well into the haunt season at this point. But still, it does opening night, closing night, there's still so much energy and so much great stuff happening. So I was thoroughly impressed with the acting level, with the set level, some great scares in there. Definitely. It was a wonderful time, and we had an absolute blast with it. Sorry if you hear the tippy taps. We have a puppy dog hanging out with us. Lucy, the official mascot of the Terror Talks. Oh, there's her. Okay, fine. They can be co-Terror Talks mascots. We have
like us, but backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Lucy's your dog and Jack is mine.
Correct. Anyways, enough about Terror Talk dogs. Oh, the tippy taps off to Buffalo she goes. Shuffle off to Buffalo. Anyways, so yeah, wonderful things happening inside this first haunt. I really can't do anything but sing the praises of it. Some really cool lighting effects in there. I don't think there's anything I really would have changed, honestly. Everything was done to a T. There's nothing I can think of where there were any imperfections. So I was very impressed with it. So, like I said, I'm not going to tell you everything about this particular haunt, just because I want you to go check it out for yourself. But that's your first haunt there, Coffin Creek. And then, once you get out of Coffin Creek, you go over to the Forbidden Acre, which the ID in Forbidden, the B in Forbidden, it looks like a 13 because of 13 acres. So that's pretty clever. I like that. So, the Forbidden Acre, this is their big outdoor trail with a lot of really cool stuff happening on it. Ansley has a lot to say about this one, in particularly the fact that it's all on a farm. So, there's some really cool stuff that she noticed that I didn't notice.
I'm not going to give too much away, but for those of you who absolutely live and breathe horror movies, love everything spooky, this, that, and the other, you are going to love this trail. You are absolutely going to love it. I went through, and there was so much that I noticed was in there. Like, I want to tell you so bad, but I don't want to ruin it for you. But it was one of those things where you go through and it's just a really awesome experience. Like, I don't know how to describe it to you without giving anything away. That's the thing. But it's so much fun. It was absolutely wonderful. The craftsmanship was awesome. Like, there is so much good from this haunt that it's just, I don't know how to describe it.
Well, one of the things that she really appreciated was the use of farm equipment.
Oh, yes.
In the haunt.
I am a farm girl through and through. Can't help it. I was just raised that way. But you do get a lot of use from, like, farm equipment and, just... there's, like, little things, like the use of like silos and cattle boxes and just all kinds of stuff that you would not think to use in a haunted house. And it really does add so much to it because at the end of the day, it is a farm. Like an actual farm. Like it used to be a working farm. Yeah. And they would have like corn mazes and stuff out there. They don't do it anymore, unfortunately. But we understand why. Because Miss Bonnie was running a corn maze during the day and a haunted house till like 2 and 3 o'clock at night. Which, girl, props for that. Even if, you know, it took a toll on you. That is a lot to handle for one person. So again, props to you, girl. I could never do it. But there was just so many interesting uses of farm equipment in this haunt. And one of my favorite things about it was the fact that I had said something about it and Miss Bonnie's face just lit up.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, I didn't know that anybody would really even notice that.
But we did. Or
I did.
Ansley did. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. She was like, hey, that's what this is. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
But she's not kidding. They really did use them in some unique ways, and I don't want to give everything away. And I will not tell you what happens inside of it. But you do go inside of 2 silos. And that is freaking amazing. They're like, we got inside them and I went, oh my God, we're inside of a silo. What? This is so cool. Like, I've always wanted to go inside of one. And to see that it was used in the way it was just incredible. Like I said, I don't want to tell you what happens in there because it's one of those things you just got to go see it for yourself. I suppose when you watch the Inside the Haunt video, you'll see it, but I'll leave something to be desired so you can find out exactly what you're going to see there. But it was so cool. What did they have us going through at one point? The things that cattle
chutes.
Cattle chutes, yeah. They used cattle chutes in one part of the haunt, which was actually freaking genius, too.
For anybody who doesn't know, a cattle chute is basically like a hallway that you usher your cows through. It's usually used in slaughterhouses or when you're trying to get them into the barn to be milked or whatever. But it was a super interesting way to use them.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the place that they were used to. It was perfect for that particular scene. I will say you get the polar opposite from the ice room in the other haunt. You get basically the hell room in this haunt. And it was so funny to see it used in that way. They actually incorporated the smell of fire burning by having an actual fire burning off to the side. And you could see the fire coming up through the grates beneath you and things like that. Little details that make the haunt what it is. And that was, bless you.
Thank you.
And that was a beautiful thing because they don't have to do these things. And they do it because they know it's going to make my haunt even better. So hands down, props for that. Freaking amazing. Great stuff. And there's great stuff all throughout the haunt. Again, I don't want to give too many scenes away because there's some really good ones all throughout. And the actors in each one were given 110% each time. It was perfect. There was one scene that you basically go into a mausoleum or crypt or whatever, and I'm a sucker for soundproofing of buildings. And one of the things that is always weird to me, because in most haunted houses, as you're going through, it's loud, it's bombastic, you're hearing things, banging, music, screaming, whatever. You go in here and it's dead quiet. Like, absolutely dead quiet. And it's like, what? That created this really unnerving feeling going through there. I was like, this is uncomfortable. This is creepy. I don't like. And it really made a difference because, like I said, it was just absolute quiet, absolute silence. And then the scares that came in there had me like jumping out of my skin because of how quiet it was and how uncomfortable it made you feel going through there. So that was a beautiful touch. I don't know if that was intentional or not. If it wasn't, like, keep it quiet in there because it's perfect. Don't add anything. Like, I loved it. I remember turning to Ansley and being like, it is dead quiet in here. So it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, the 13th Acre, there's so much to see, so much to do, so much fun to have. Like we said, you get through the haunt. When you get to the end of the haunt, they have like a tiny gift shop set up where you can get a couple little souvenirs, or you can head on up to that general store and get them too, which either way is great.
I like the fact that they had 2 different areas where you could get stuff. Because to me, I mean, I'm going through these haunts anyway, and my thing is, I don't want to, like, go through the end of the haunt and have to turn completely around to, like, hike up a hill or whatever and go get souvenirs there. Or maybe I do. It just depends on the night. So to have, like, the general store selling stuff. Sorry, Lucy's trying to catch sky raisins. Anyway, to be able to go through and not have to walk all the way back across to get a souvenir, because maybe I'm like, oh, I want to hit the haunts first. We actually found the general store because we both needed a bathroom break.
Yes, and with the VIP, you get a special bathroom.
Yes. You get a personal bathroom, basically, in the general store, and you get access to the bar.
Yep.
Which nobody else really gets to do. So that's kind of one of those things where you're like, ooh, I get to be VIP. I get to be fancy.
I'm bougie.
I get to be bougie.
Haunt bougie.
Not the haunt bougie.
Yes.
But, you know, it's one of those things where it's, like, super cool. Like, and I honestly kind of like the fact that you get those certain little things with VIP. Because, I mean, you have haunts where you're like, oh, I get my VIP pass and I get to be the front of the line and that's about it. And there's also those haunts that are like, oh, well, you're VIP, you get, like, discounts on this, or you get, like, so-and-so on this. And to me, it's actually kind of nice to see something a little bit different than, oh, well, okay, well, you get front-of-the-line access, and you get this, and this, discount-wise, but that's about it. Like, you get entire, like, rooms and experiences and a private bathroom. You actually feel like a VIP there.
Right. Yeah, it definitely is worth that VIP price for that admission. So, yeah, the 13th Acre. Oh, I guess we got to rate it, don't we? I forgot about that part. So, what are you going to rate it?
I am going to give it a 5.
I am 100% in agreement with you. This is 5 out of 5, like, perfect score. There's not a thing I don't think I would change. There's nothing I can think, even nitpicky-wise, there's nothing I can nitpick right now. So,
and
yeah.
That's even with the elemental scares.
Yes, because it was literally only like one of them. So, the 13th Acre, located in Monroe, North Carolina. Go check it out. You've still got time as of the day of this recording. They're open until October 31st, Halloween. They're open every Saturday and Friday for the rest of October and the rest of these Sundays in this month as well. Yeah, I know. It was weird. It was strange. Anyways, they have a bunch of awesome ticket prices. General admission is $26.50 online, $30.50 at the door. But on Prime Saturdays, which are October 12th, 19th, and 26th, that'll be a $32 for that. Fast Pass admission is $41.50 online, $44 at the door. And on those Prime Saturdays, $47. The VIP admission is $66.50 and $70 at the door, $73 on those Prime Saturdays. And with that VIP, you get instant access to both attractions, exclusive access to the new VIP-only bar, the Oddities Bar. You get to become the scare with the scare windows inside the VIP bar, private bathrooms, and capture the horror with special permission to film your experience inside the attractions. Take photos, videos, or even FaceTime your friends while getting scared. I can let my friends see what a little chicken shit I am while I'm going through. It's great. But you can also just add that $10 on to the price of any ticket that you get to get that use of the cell phone, which again is a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So go. Oh, they also, there's a few other things I did not realize. They have an observer-only ticket for $10.50. So if you're too scared to enter the haunt, but you want to get in on the action, you can actually get this ticket and watch from a safe distance. Observer participants cannot enter the haunted attractions, but can go back to the main ticket booth for an upgrade.
I didn't know that either, and that, as somebody who used to be scared to death of haunted houses, I know it's strange, right? But as somebody who used to be scared to death of haunted houses, that actually, it kind of warms my heart. Because as a scare actress, I know sometimes, parents can't find babysitters, so they drag their kids along. And yeah, it sucks. It really does. It sucks for those kids. It sucks, like the situation sucks. And I try to make it a little bit better when I encounter those moments, because I'll try to make the kid feel comfortable. With something like this, you have the potential to get your kid this observer ticket, and then they can watch from the safe distance, and then they can, see that it's not as bad, and, you can kind of ease them into it, and not throw them feet first into the fire like I was, which I turned out all right, but,
It is a beautiful thing to have that. You have the private fire pit rentals for $45, not available in March or June. And you get to choose from various times. All the fire participants must have a ticket to enter the property. All fire pits must be booked online, and they are non-refundable. No outside food or beverages, but s'mores are available for purchase in the general store. Like I said, that awesome Oddities Bar, private bar for VIP ticket holders only, decked out with unusual and odd Halloween decor.
Definitely worth it, guys.
A special feature includes a two-way mirror where VIPs can look into the haunted house and push the button for the first scare. You'll laugh as they scream. This VIP-only area is sure to entertain its guests. Drinks can be purchased at the bar. So, the 13th Acre, Ansley rated it a 5. I gave it a 5. That means it's a grand total of, drumroll please, 5 screams. The 13th Acre is a 5 scream rated haunted attraction by the Terror Talk Scream Scale. So go check them out today. You need to see this place. It is so much fun. It is awesome. Located in Monroe, North Carolina at 3718 Plyler Mill Road, Monroe, North Carolina, 28112. Go check it out. Parking is free. They also have an auxiliary lot across the road if the main lot becomes full, and they have transportation provided. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, go check it out this haunt season. All right, we're going to take a little break to hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, you'll hear all about The Fear Farm.
Are you a haunt owner looking to spice up your haunted attraction this year? Or maybe just a neighbor who loves to turn their home into a scene fit for a horror movie? No matter the case, our friends at Haunted FX Props can help turn your Halloween vision into a living nightmare. These horrifying geniuses specialize in building haunted house props, lighting for your haunted attraction, and designing haunted houses and escape rooms that are sure to keep your fans coming back for more. How much is it? Well, your prices will vary based on the services provided for your haunt, so get in touch with them today to set up what you need. You can visit them today at their Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok by simply searching Haunted FX Props. To not only get in contact with them, but also to see some of the work that they do, or you can visit them at their website, www.hauntedfxprops.com. You can also personally contact them by emailing them at info@hauntedfxprops.com, or you can call them directly at 706-799-5382. Again, that is 706-799-5382. Anytime from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. So be sure to contact Haunted FX Prop today to make sure your haunt can be the absolute best it can be.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Before the break, we talked all about the 13th Acre, located in Monroe, North Carolina. Now we're going down to South Carolina, actually. I thought this was in North Carolina. I was mistaken when I spoke at the beginning of the episode. I'm sorry. This is located in South Carolina. It's called the Fear Farm Haunted House, opening for their 14th season this year. Amazing thing. They're open until November 2nd. So you got plenty of time still as of the day of recording this to check them out and enjoy the Fear Farm located in Blacksburg, South Carolina. If you listen to one of our other episodes, there's another haunt that we checked out within the same radius. We didn't realize it was probably like 10 minutes up the street from each other. So that is a really cool thing. So, the Fear Farm, you arrive. You got this great parking lot, huge parking lot. It looks like a fairgrounds, kind of. So, I'm wondering if it is part fairgrounds. It looks like they do things in the off-season because they had some carnival attractions and a whole Christmas area, too. So, I'm thinking they do some sort of Christmas thing during the off-season time. But I'm not 100% sure of that. But you get there, you go check out this wonderful, awesome midway that they have, which really, there's a lot going. They got a little food truck there. They've got probably one of the most unique photo ops we've ever seen.
Yes, it was super, super cool. The only way I can accurately describe it is to tell you that it is full of surprises.
Yeah. I think we can tell them about the photo op and what it has. Basically, it's a fireplace with the title of the haunt, and you're inside of a picture frame, but they have other picture frames off to the side. So if your group is 70 people large, you can put part of them in the middle frame and then the other ones on the outside frames, and still fit everybody in your picture. It's such a unique way to get a great picture. You probably, if you watch our Inside the Haunt video, you will see some awesome people cheering for it inside of this picture frame. It's really one of the more unique photo ops we've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. You also have 2 escape rooms on the property that you can do. We didn't do either one of them, but that is another cool offering that they have. You see that a lot with these haunted attractions these days. There is a Wednesday themed escape room, as in Wednesday Addams, and then there is another escape room. I believe it is, I'm not sure what the theme is for it. It's a haunted bed and breakfast. It's called the Seven Sisters Bed and Breakfast. Kind of interesting. We didn't get to do either one of them just because we were checking things out in the haunted attractions. But this haunt does something cool too. They have a video or phone pass, just like our friends over at the 13th Acre. Pay $10. You can video your friends. You can video yourself. You can take photos inside while going through the haunt. That's a beautiful thing. They have the Ultimate VIP Pass, which gets you into all the haunted attractions. Fast Pass, skip the line. T-shirt of your choice. And an exclusive VIP button. We love buttons. VIP buttons are lovely. And they also even have the Scaredy Cat medallion. It is an LED light-up souvenir necklace that makes monsters scared of the wearer. Basically, if you don't want to get scared, you buy this.
So cute. I love that description.
It's for $8, and then they also have child's tickets for $20. So they do not discriminate. They make sure that you're gonna get, anybody can go. It's awesome. It's wonderful. So, before we get into it, I do have to give a huge shout out to the owner, Matt. He was very welcoming to us. He hooked us up and, got us in there and just was very, very cool to hang out with us for part of it and chit-chat for a little while. Once we got there, he came and met us right up at the front and walked us around, made sure everything was good to go. Sent somebody to get us in there and, let us get through the haunt. And even when we weren't able to get a couple shots that we wanted for our video, he personally walked us back through to the spot we needed to help us get those shots and then sort of snuck us out the little backdoor exit hidey hole that the actors would typically use. So huge shout out to him. And I mean, he just sat there and chit-chatted with us when we got done with the haunt too, which was, again, a lot of fun to just have that sort of hospitality. Because you don't get that too often. It's some of these haunts, the owners are just like, boom, 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 I'm too busy, I can't talk to you, blah, 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 blah. Both owners with these two haunts have just been so kind to us, and we're so, literally just wanted to sit there and chat with us and pick our brain and ask us in person, what did you think? What would you do different? They genuinely cared. And that, to us, that says a lot. Because, you can listen to these reviews all day, and who knows if the owners will ever hear it or if it's just the actors who hear it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It honestly can be hit or miss. So to get that from them was a beautiful thing. But enough about awesome owners and awesome midways and things like that. Oh, well, actually, before we dive into the haunt itself, there is some other cool stuff happening in the midway I didn't even think about. They have bubbly drinks.
I did love the bubbly drinks.
It was really cool. So this is a thing that has been trending this year at haunts. I've seen a lot of
popping up everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of haunts are doing this now. They have this little device that you put in the drink, and it basically makes it bubble and has the dry ice, which is really freaking cool. We love that. It's a beautiful thing. And so to see that pop up was really cool. We got to try one. We tried the green apple one. Well, they only had two at this one. It was the green apple and the blue raspberry. That's what we're going with. Point is, there was only two, and you could add a shot of Monster to it or Red Bull.
I love energy drinks. They're not good for you. So don't take that as Ansley said it's all right, so I'm going to do it.
Do it
Don't
anyways.
Do it.
Just do
Don't
it.
Do it.
It's fine. Drink the energy drinks. Have the sugar high. It's great. It's better than what we thought they said, because Ansley thought they said Fireball. when the girl offered it, she was like, yeah, no, I'd love a shot of Fireball.
Okay, but to be fair, Ansley had stayed up, 48 hours?
Yeah, she'd been up nonstop, so she was not thinking the clearest at the time. Yeah. But still, it was just yeah,
damn, calm down.
So yeah, I'll take a shot of Fireball.
Alcohol.
It's no, there's no alcohol at this place. Damn, okay, fine.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
Yeah, so they were still fun. They were delicious. It was a great moment. We all had a great laugh. Shout out to the awesome girl who was running that the merchandise booth and the drink booth. I think her name was Emerise, I think was her name.
I'm not sure. I didn't catch it.
I think that's what she said. I asked her name. I think that's what your name was. If that was your name, shout out to you. You were awesome. If not, then there's a random girl named Emerise who's getting praises. So I don't know who that is. I will say, because I think this begs worth mentioning, and it's worth mentioning. I don't know. English, not my first language. It's fine. It is. Okay, it's my only language. This is worth mentioning. One of the things that we found out that the haunt owner does, Matt, this is awesome. He will go around and give little like tokens to actors who have stood out to him or who have like gone above and beyond, and even asked us like, well, who do you think I should give one to? And I just thought that is a really cool way to like just show that little actor appreciation, you know. And while we were actually standing there to get the drinks and I got my t-shirt, he actually came up and gave one to the girl running the ticket booth, or not the ticket booth, the merchandise booth. She was absolutely amazing, and she got a token while we were standing there. We were like, oh, that's so cool. So I love that. I love that he does that for them, and it shows that appreciation. And ironically enough, he had given the token to the other actor that we were like, you should give one to him. So that was actually kind of funny that he gave it to the same guy that, like, he was on the same page as where we were, basically. So that was a wonderful thing. But that's the phrase on this episode. It's a wonderful thing. Okay, so now let's get into the haunt. So the haunt is broken up into 6 different attractions, basically. And with each one, they do a pretty good job about sort of breaking up the groups. So I will say, once you get out of one, you wait in line to get into the next one. Not a huge problem for us because we had the VIP pass. But if you don't have the VIP pass, you could be waiting for a minute. But they seem to be doing pretty good. It did lead to a couple backups at time, but it wasn't like horrible. So with each attraction, they all are uniquely different, and they all have something different about them that's kind of unique. So the first one is the basic thing is you are in pitch black darkness the entire time. And that was absolutely fucking terrifying because things would come out of the darkness at you and you'd be like, what the hell was that? And they had these really cool like purge masks on, the glowy light up ones. And so that, you know, had us, they'd be jumping out at us left and right and scaring us. Scaring you? Well, scaring me. At one point, I think there was a guttural like scream from me after I had just made fun of some other girls that were getting scared, and I was like, and then boom, I get the absolute shit wrecked because something scared me as soon as I went around the corner, and I was like, damn. And then he got me again. So it was a wonderful thing. Not much to see in that first part, but that's the idea because you're in pitch black darkness. They had an interesting thing where they did like a pre-show to sort of explain to you like what you were doing and what was going on. And that was really cool too, because you don't see that too often with haunts, you know. You don't get pre-shows very often. So I really enjoyed getting to see that.
I do want to say I was not a fan of the first one because of the fact that it was very boring. And I don't mean anything by it like maliciously or anything like that. It was not my favorite. I feel like they could have done a lot more with what they had, all the area that was there. It just kind of read like, oh, well, we've got a lot going on out here, so we're not really going to worry about what's going on over there.
But at the same time, I think the point of that is because it's in pitch black darkness, there's not really much that needs to be going on either.
I would like to see more. I'm just saying. Theme it a little bit better. Add some strobes or something. Give me some light. Why is that there? Anyway, give me some light so I can see props. Don't just have it pitch black. And in some cases, yes, that does work. There is some areas where it was great to have like little that you could see because it kind of added to it. But there was really nice props that you could barely see. And I was not a huge fan of the fact that I couldn't see them.
Yeah. But you did get a giant spider.
Yeah, at the end where the light was.
He was fluffy.
He was very fluffy.
I didn't like him. I don't like spiders.
I love spiders.
Anyways.
Spiders are friends.
So we're not going to break down every single area that you go into. We'll touch on it a little bit and tell you about it just because, I guess because they are basically separate attractions. They each have their little things about them. One of them is the mine shaft mayhem, which that one is exactly what it sounds like. You're down in the mines and such. I'll tell you, we did get me and Harrison got a couple pretty good scares in there on us, because Harrison was with us for this particular haunt, but he's not with us on this recording, unfortunately. But yeah, no, down in the mine shaft, we got a couple really good ones, and even that second time coming back through there to get walked to get some to filming shots, we still got scared again by a lot of the same ones, and it was like, how did you get me twice? I knew it was coming. But that is a testament to how well coordinated some of those scares are in there, and the actors that are in there were able to, get me twice, basically. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about the mine shaft. I mean, it's a mine shaft. I mean, what more you want me to talk about? Then you move into the Coven, which this was another fun little area with some really beautiful scenic stuff. I thought scenery that was just absolutely second to none. I think there was like this beautiful like church facade that you saw that was really cool. A sort of like, not a tree house. I guess it was kind of like a tree house facade. I'm not really sure. But just lots of really cool stuff out there in terms of set work. They did a really good job with that. Great special effects, which we're coming up on here in a minute. There's a really fun trick that now Ansley has gotten used to. Anytime we walk on a certain type of material in a house, if she knows it's going to do something, she's like, all right, bend your knees, get ready, because she's waiting for a certain effect to happen. If you know, you know, and if not, you're in for a surprise.
Because common theme on here on the Terror Talks, Ansley ain't got no knees. In terms of knees, we ain't got no knees.
In terms of knees, we have no knees. And because of that, there have been some really good scares at times that have jolted us. And it's a particular one that a lot of haunts we've actually seen this season have used this effect. So that was kind of neat. So then you move on, and we meet Ansley's favorite actor in the haunt. This guy, it was, funnily enough, one of the actors we were like, he needs the coin. He was fantastic.
I'm so proud of him. And Jeremy picks on me because he's like, you don't even know them. How are you going to be proud of them? No, I'm proud of you guys. I really am. I don't know how to say it. I've worked with littles. I've worked with adult actors. That sounds like porno.
Well,
Ansley is not like that, guys. I have worked with mature actors, and I've just worked with pretty much everybody.
I've worked with actors, guys.
I've worked with all of these wonderful actors and actresses and everything, and it kind of just makes you feel good when you see somebody that's out there giving it their all, and it makes you like really take into consideration, for starters, this guy we were told this was his first year ever acting. And I was like, for him to come up with an entire story and everything in this scene was impressive. Because I've worked with people that have worked at haunts for years, and you still get elementary scares out of them.
Right. And ironically, this guy being the favorite scare for us, that was the effect that we missed with the shot that we wanted.
Yes,
and so we
go back and see him twice. And
yes.
I was happy about it. I was here for it.
And we had no idea about it either when we told, like, I'm like, I saw this effect, like, through the trees, but we didn't see it, like, when we got there. And he's like, I'll take you right back to it. And funnily enough, that was right after we had said, hey, who's your favorite actor? And it was like, oh my God, it's him. Like, that was perfect. Like, perfect coincidence. He really was fantastic. Like, he hammed it up. Moving on, there is one part here that I don't know. I'm not sure if we should mention it or not. Really, there's a big black room that you go into right before getting onto an elevator.
Oh, the stinky room.
And I don't know if they had some funny smelling fog. If the actor in there didn't take a shower that day, if somebody let one rip, I don't know. It smelled weird as fuck.
It had me gagging.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out, how does the actress that's in here, like
I
survive this?
Her,
like,
honestly, because I was like, had I been put in this room, I could not make it through the night. Like. And when I act, I try to be like super, super professional about everything. But sometimes you get those basically pits of hell rooms.
Yeah.
And you're like, I really don't want to be here. I don't want to be in here. And if that was a room for you, honey, I am so sorry.
Yeah, like we know one of our former haunt managers love to use smells, and so I'm wondering if this is
he would kill me with those things.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this was a case of that or not. Just something to check on. And then,
so let's hope it's smelly fog and not something else.
Yeah. And then the effect that happens when you go through that room is one that I've seen done several times in haunts. And after you see it a certain way, it gets kind of overdone. And I do hate to say it, but I was not a fan of it. The owner and the people who act there will know exactly what we're talking about. But for the guests who have not been there, who are listening to this, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I've seen this particular effect done several times, and it was not as good as I think it could have been. I feel like it needs to be perfected more, or either perfected more or just taken out, because honestly it doesn't do anything for me, and I don't know many people that it does do anything for. I mean, I get that there is the fear there. I guess there's no way to get around it without just straight out calling out what it is. It's an elevator. You get into an elevator, basically, and it takes you...
Yeah, because I was there, and I still could not figure out what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah. So it's an elevator scene, and for me, I mean, maybe I'm a little jaded because I've seen some really professional elevator scenes, but those are also inside of, like, actual buildings. So it's like you can't hold that against them. But I've seen elevator scenes done out, like, on trails before, and this particular one, I just did not like the way it operated. It did not feel like a falling elevator. It honestly just kind of felt like a room shifting back and forth.
Yeah, it kind of felt like we were set on top of pallets that were on top of tires.
Yeah, it was not my favorite thing, so if it were me, I would actually take that part out. Just do away with it. Just because honestly, there's a scene that coming up that they did the exact same effect, but it didn't make any sense in the scene that it was in, but it felt more like an elevator than the actual elevator. So it's like, I mean, you have to. I get it. People think it's a cool gimmick and a cool thing to try and do, but it's not necessarily for me.
Yeah, and also you don't really have like buildings out there, so this elevator effect is just kind of a box in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't, in the grand storyline, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because you're coming out of all the Coven stuff and now you're on an elevator. It would make sense if it was after the mine, but the two aren't really connected at that point anymore.
Not really. It's kind of just a random thing.
Yeah. Now, maybe they're supposed to be in some way connected. I don't know, but that's just, like, I would just personally get rid of it. It did nothing for me. But you move on, and then this is where your next little break in Haunt comes, because you get sort of in another line to break up the groups, and that is Confinement, which is the prison, which I love the little prison facade they had going on. They had some searchlights and stuff. Like, it looked like you were going into a penitentiary. It was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I do dig this.
Who the hell calls it a penitentiary?
I did. I don't know. And then the actors that were there, like, getting you ready, they didn't resort to the whole, like, natural scare. They went full on, like, oh, you're about to be in prison, boy. Like, I'm going to make you my bitch. they didn't say that.
But PC. It was not, like, it was slightly less PG-13 than
I'm about to say,
most people would be comfortable with.
They played it like they were like the creepy cops, basically. Like,
yeah.
It made you uncomfortable. And one of them, I shit you not, and if you're listening to this dude, you heard me say it when we came through, and you'll probably hear me say it on the Inside the Haunt episode. He looks like Bill Paxton. Like a younger Bill Paxton. And I was like, hey, Bill Paxton, he's a cop now, even though he's dead. I mean, he is dead. He died years ago. God rest Bill Paxton's soul. Anyhow, but they like set the tone right there, and it was like, oh shit, what are we getting into? And then you get in there, and there was funny there because in one of the rooms there was an actor inside that room. He was able to talk to the guests in line from behind his bars. So it was like the prisoner inside was talking to you on the outside.
But I don't understand why a prisoner was doing our mugshots.
Okay, suspension of disbelief a little bit. I mean,
I used to be an officer. I can't get behind that.
Well, I mean, we weren't actually in a prison either, so
right,
I mean,
but
I mean, I see your point. The prisoner would not be taking the mugshots. So, and technically that wasn't even a mugshot room either. It was a security camera room.
Yeah.
So that did get a little like, because we were in the security camera room and he's like, all right, we're going to do mugshots. It's like, what?
And then it would have been easier to believe had they not had a mugshot room.
Yeah. Because then you went into the mugshot room. It's like, wait a minute. Like I don't know. It was a little disjointed there. Like I would clean that up and, either eliminate one of the rooms or do something just a little bit differently. And then, speaking of, you get out of there and you get into it's basically like an X-ray room. And they did essentially the elevator thing again. I think this time more successfully than the actual elevator. Like, this should have been the elevator rather than the actual elevator. But it didn't make sense. Why would the X-ray machine be tilting all around?
It was a decontamination chamber.
Or decontamination, X-ray, it's all the same. But still.
And that doesn't really work with a prison either.
Yeah.
Because, I know we're suspending disbelief, but I'm gonna go back with my police training and everything. Shameless plug. I was an officer. Anyway, but you don't have decontamination chambers in jail.
No.
You don't. The most you'll have is you'll go to the medical thing to, basically get checked out, and then you'll get put in basically like a cell, but it's a like solitary cell. You don't have all the stuff that a regular cell would have. So the decontamination chamber is more of a like a doctor's office or a mental institute or something like that, like a laboratory of some sort.
Yeah.
Not a jail.
Right.
So it didn't make sense.
Yeah. It was a little weird, but I did like that they had two of them, though. Like, they had basically two contamination chambers, and I don't know if that is to break up larger groups or if that is to get, like, two groups going through at once to sort of speed up things. I'm not sure, but I did love that there was two of them. I thought that was kind of a... It was very much like going to a theme park and they have multiple pre-show rooms they're going to put you in. So yeah, that was kind of a cool thing.
It does actually break up a lot.
Yeah. So that was neat. Continuing through there, though, let's see. What else did we got into the sort of insane asylum part of the haunt where a lot of girls just started screaming at us, "Will you be my friend? Will you be my friend? Will you be my friend?"
Yeah, that kind of... Not great. And I had one girl scream directly into my eardrum.
Well, I mean, it is a haunted
house. And I was not happy about that. Like, at all.
You mean to tell me you never screamed in anybody's eardrums as a haunted actress?
Okay, as a scare actress, I have. But it was different circumstances. It was somebody who was just clearly being a douche.
Yeah.
And I did it just because I can't say fuck you, basically.
I screamed at people all the time.
But directly in their ear, like...
This
girl was like 5 inches from me.
I couldn't get close enough to ears to do that. They don't let me get in her ears anymore. It's a whole story.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. I'm just kidding. But say Jeremy does not eat people's ears.
Mike Tyson.
Anyway. Weird. So yeah, there was that, and then of course Ansley's kryptonite, the coochie hallway.
Yep.
She's gonna be that way about every coochie hallway. So if you have a coochie hallway, I'm sorry, she's gonna probably...
You're not safe.
You're not safe. Granted, some have survived them, but...
No.
No, there's been a few haunts where you haven't said anything, held the coochie halls against them. But coochie hallways are not fun. And this one, I don't know why, but this one felt a little weird to me. I don't remember why, but it did for some reason. But still, I mean, it's your typical claustrophobia thing. But moving on through there, then you get into Twisty's Tricks and Treats. So this is your clown house again. Another typical sort of run with the clowns. I mean, what more can I say other than clowns? That's really all there is to it. Clowns. I think there was probably some good stuff in there. But it's your typical clown house, basically. There was a lot of people in there or statues in there that I thought were going to end up being real, and they weren't. So that was...
kind of a bummer.
Well, I don't know that was a bummer, but it was misleading at times. Because it was like, wait, are you real? Nope, you're not real.
Well, if it's just misleading, that's the point. But stationary props don't do as much for me as like a regular actor would. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But there were some good clown actors in there, too. I will say.
I mean, they were.
The ones that were in there, they did bring the energy. Like, they were ready to play.
They were a little bit chaotic, and we love that.
We do. We
love that in clown houses because it
of course,
actually...
What mask did we see like 75 of that we see at every haunted house, it seems like? Because everyone's buying the same clown masks, it seems like.
Oh, those generic male clown masks?
Yeah. But I mean, what else are you gonna do? I mean,
it's kind of hard to find clown masks, honestly.
That's what we're gonna make Terror Talks branded clown masks. That's our new business venture. In the off season this year, we'll be designing clown masks for $5.99. I'm just kidding. $5.99? No, it's gonna be $599. Please donate today. I'm just kidding.
Donate and we'll give you a mask. That's called buying.
Okay, fine. Donate your $599. Anyways, we're not making clown masks. It was your typical clown house. It was good. Yeah, moving on. That's all I have to say about that.
Jeremy hates clowns, guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
And not in a scary way.
You're right. The farmhouse. So, the Fear Farm, you got to have the farmhouse, right? I mean, so what a perfect place to end the whole thing. Well, once you get in there, they had another sort of little pre-show thing that you got to watch. And I thought that was another cool interactive element to see that. You couldn't hear it as nicely as I would have liked to because right behind you was the queue line of people acting like fucking idiots.
Psychopaths.
Yeah, so it was a little hard to hear. So possibly fix the speakers in there. And who knows, that could have been, again, this particular haunt, we were there on opening night. So things could have already changed over the course of a few weeks because we did, like we have said already, have gotten put behind on stuff. So we're fast tracking a lot of things. But, you know, that could have been something they already fixed as soon as that day was over. But the pre-show was kind of cool, and then you got to crawl through a fireplace to get to the next scene. Well, not crawl, but
I feel like I've seen that a lot, though.
I've seen it a few times.
It's starting to get where it is a little overdone.
Yeah, the fireplace gimmick is like crawl through the fire. Yeah, we've seen it, but in any case,
I was a Scooby-Doo kid. I already know what to do.
It's like pull the book on the bookshelf. No, pull the book on the bookshelf, and you'll get the secret passage.
Yeah.
So we've seen it. It's been done. Whatever.
It's been done a lot.
Yes, it has. A lot. But this particular house, I mean, actors were good in it. Sets were good in it. I didn't really have any issues going through there that I can think of. There was a chainsaw dude that, like, jumped over like something, like he came running and jumped over a barricade. I was like, damn.
We were like, that was athletic. That is talent, sir.
Like, you have talent, you have energy, we love you. It's a golden buzzer for me. No, not golden buzzer. But it definitely was like,
that's copy right now.
True. We definitely were like, oh my god, nice though. Like,
yeah, because doing like athletic stuff with chainsaws in your hand is always going to be a really big risk.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you slip up, even if it... Well, I'm going to break some illusions for you guys. But, even though you don't have a chain on the chainsaw, you still got all the moving parts and everything. And so it does get a little bit tedious to be able to do that because, I mean, something on you could get caught up in that chainsaw and take something off of you. So
that's what we want, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
That is not what we want.
I thought we wanted to remove people's limbs.
We want our actors to be safe.
Oh, yeah, actors, of course.
But, I mean, if you feel comfortable taking that personal risk, as long as you're not, like, taking that risk on somebody else... I don't feel like it's really an issue.
Chop people's limbs off. It's great.
Please don't.
It's a wonderful thing.
Don't do that. Don't
beautiful.
listen to Jeremy, guys. Jeremy will get you locked up.
Probably. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You know, it's fine.
So, I'm going to bring up a fact that you brought up. Well, you didn't bring it up today, but I remembered it. Going through this haunt. Big pet peeve. Hide your water bottles.
Yes, there was so many water bottles, and
we don't want to. We know that you're real people. We know that you are.
We get it. We just want to be in the experience.
And when your water bottle is sitting right there where we can see it,
over here, like, oh, Haunted Trails, sponsored by Dasani, Deer Park.
Shut up about Deer Park. We're not talking about Deer Park. Anyways. Yeah, no, don't, no. Hide your water bottles. Hide them. Please. It takes...
Take us out of the illusion of being in the scene with you.
Yes. Now, I understand sometimes, maybe sometimes your water bottles are like, the prop of the scene. If you ripped off the label, then it kind of works. But
the ones I saw were full out, brand new water bottles. Probably had just been opened. Like, I was so upset, guys.
Yeah, all it takes, hide it.
Upset, Mama Ansley.
Let's say all you gotta do is hide it in a prop, hide it in a set, like put it someplace that no one's ever gonna see it.
Yeah, like, and okay, there is some exceptions to that rule. And we're gonna go back to the stinky fog room, is what I'm gonna call it. We had ended up going through there the second time, and you know me, I'm always going to make sure that everything's on the up and up while we're going through. Doesn't matter what time we are going through. It could be the first time, it could be the 50th time. That room was basically just a big area in a tent. There's nothing in there but the fog machine and the scare actors things. Stuff like that. I understood that one because there was really nowhere to hide it. So, I mean, she kind of gets a pass on that one. But if you're going to show me a mine scene with miners, then I don't want to see a Dasani water bottle.
Right. Dasani would not be in the mine.
Yeah, Dasani would not be in the mine. If you find a way to get you a water bottle that would fit your scene, if there's nowhere to hide it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in the mine, they used to have, like, canteens, kind of. And it would fit the scene a lot better if you just know that you cannot find anywhere to hide it. Then I would go that route. But no excuse.
None.
No excuse.
But apart from that, that was the only major note I had. I thought all the sets were really good in a lot of the places. I thought most of the actors did pretty good. I don't think we had any get outs or boos.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, well, okay, fine. You heard get out and boo. I didn't hear it, so.
Back to the mine.
Oh, that's right. There was a miner who said get out. Yep. But still, sometimes they're warranted, sometimes they're not. It depends on the situation. Lots of great things, though. I was very pleased coming out of there. I did not have too many issues with them other than the little technical things I mentioned. So because of that, that's where I am. But you get to the end of the haunt, and it's a beautiful thing. You get chased by a chainsaw, of course. That's what you do.
The grand finale.
And I'm just going to say this. Blanket statement, and people, hear me out, okay? I think this is a genius idea that I have here, all right? Are you ready? I'm pitching it to you. This is Shark Tank. Here we go. I think any haunted house that has a chainsaw at the end of it, if you have the means to do it, needs to set up a camera outside the exit to that haunt to where you can literally get recording of the people running out from the chainsaw. And then
you can use it in promotional videos and stuff.
Well, no. Well, I mean, yes, you could do that, but sell it. Sell it to people, because sometimes people want to see that, oh, what did I look like getting scared? And I guarantee you there's a market. People would buy it. If nothing else, I would buy all of them just so I could have that footage for my show. Because then I could be like, ooh, that was a good one. I just sit there and peruse the archives of screams and scares. So that is my pitch. Chainsaw Scare Cam. Let's make it happen. Hashtag Chainsaw Scare Cam for 2025.
For Jeremy.
Just for Jeremy. Exactly. So.
I would buy it too, just because I love when you get the shit scared out of you.
Yes, that is true.
And also, we all know that I'm a dumbass, and I love chainsaws, and if it is one that I do not expect, I'm like, yes! Chainsaw! And I just look like a little kid.
Yeah, it's true.
It's funny.
We have video footage to prove it.
We do.
But that gets you outside of the Fear Farm. That gets you to the end of it. You're back into the Midway. You know, again, lots of great stuff out there to check out. Go get you a T-shirt. They actually do have a stage where a band plays. I forgot to mention that earlier. There was no band playing the night we were there, again, opening night. But the following weekend they didn't have any band playing either, because the following weekend was when the hurricane hit. And yeah, we've all been through some shit where that's concerned. But in any case, lots has happened. That's why we're behind. But
yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah. But they were actually one of the haunts that was affected, and I found out they're actually a hurricane relief drop-off point. So if you're coming to visit them, bring donations for hurricane victims if you can. Like, we highly encourage that here. And even if you can't, or even if you're not coming to visit them, bring them, like, you know, stop by and bring them the donations if you have some donations to give. You know, everybody needs a little help right now, and we're even working to make some stuff happen here as well where that's concerned. So, the Fear Farm Haunted House, located in Blacksburg, South Carolina. What are we rating it?
Oh, please don't hate me for this, but I am gonna go with a 3.5. Because everybody that worked there was awesome, like, just regular worker wise, and there was a lot of great moments. But the water bottles, the booze, just, there's so much about it that kind of broke my heart, because I was so ready to just kind of immerse myself in it. And I couldn't do it because water bottles and, you know, boo, rawr, get out, stuff like that, screaming in the ear, like, I couldn't do it, guys. I'm so sorry.
I'll be slightly nicer. I'm going to give them a 4. Because I did enjoy a lot of things. The only thing that I had issues with was the water bottles and the very strange elevator shaft thing. That was, you know, a little odd for me. But apart from that, you know, I thought it was a very good haunt. Some great moments, some things I would change. I'd love to see some changes in the following years. But yeah, so I'm giving them a 4. So,
Jeremy's being nice.
3.5 and a 4. So that brings us to a grand total of, drum roll please, 4 screams. The Fear Farm is a 4 screams rated haunted attraction by the Terror Talks. So, want to go check them out this year? You need to. Go check them out this season if you can. They are located at 42499 Island Road, Blacksburg, South Carolina, 29702. Great place, small town, fun times. Like I said earlier, you can buy your tickets, $30 general admission, that gets you into everything, $15 Fast Pass add-on, $20 child ticket, $8 Scaredy Cat medallion. You can get that ultimate VIP pass for only $55, which gets you all 6 attractions, the Fast Pass, skip the line, a t-shirt of your choice, and an exclusive VIP button. And you can add on the $10 video phone pass, which lets you video your friends, video yourself, take photos inside of the haunt. Both escape rooms, the 5-minute escape rooms, are $5 for each one. So that's like $1 a minute. Like, cool. And then, of course, you have all the awesome concessions, games, and gift shops that are going on nightly out there in that Midway. So, go check out the Fear Farm Haunted House located in Blacksburg, South Carolina. This haunt season, 4 screams rated haunted attraction. Go check out our friends over at the 13th Acre located in Monroe, North Carolina. and they are a 5 screams rated haunted attraction, both by the Terror Talk Scream scale. You got plenty of time to go check them out. You still got 3 weeks, 3 weekends to check them out. Some great dates. Go check them out today. You'll be so glad that you did. And I'll always let them know that the Terror Talk sent you there. But that is going to do it for this episode of the Terror Talks. I've been Jeremy.
And I'm Ansley.
And until next time, be safe out there.
Don't text and drive.
And be excellent to each other. We'll see you in the fog.
Hey, you guys survived to the end of the show. Congratulations, you're all final girl material. But don't worry, you'll have plenty more opportunities to fall victim to our horrifying creations throughout the season. Afraid to miss out on more content?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Don't worry, we've got you covered. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. You can also subscribe to our Libsyn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and anywhere else podcasts can be found. Want to keep up with us regularly? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for all of our social media fun.
Don't fall asleep.
Go check out our website for our written reviews at theterrortalks.wixsite.com.
What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
Want to help us keep the lights from flickering? You can give us a one-time donation of $3 to support the show by visiting glow.fm/theterrortalks. Simply go to that link, and your one-time donation will go back into keeping the show running from Michael, Freddie, and Jason for another day. You can also subscribe to our Patreon by going to www.patreon.com/theterrortalks. Once there, you can subscribe to one of our 2 tiers, our lowest tier of $1 a month and our highest tier of $5 a month. That's less than 1 cup of coffee, and it all goes right back into our show. Anything else we're forgetting?
I tell you, Michael Myers is here in this
town. Please give us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcast and let us know that you saw the show. And if there's something you liked or even didn't like, you can also contact us directly at theterrortalks@gmail.com. Well, that does it for this spooky showing. Be safe out there and beware of ghouls, goblins, and monsters. But until next time, happy haunting.